Hey everybody, it's the night before Christmas and we are down to our final off-season recap video, and this is the last one. We're going to be doing the Boston Bruins here today, who have had a very interesting off-season, certainly some notable changes there, while also keeping the main group intact there in Boston. And still some questions to go, particularly the Zdeno Chara question with the Bruins heading into this season. But before we get into it, I just ask that you please subscribe and hit that thumbs up button if you haven't yet. Both of those things help out so much and are very, very much appreciated. Boston, I will say, I was very down on their offseason right at the beginning, but the more I've thought about it, the more I've had a chance to kind of let everything digest and sit in here. The more I don't think Boston's offseason was as bad as I first thought. So let's get in and take a look at their moves here and see what the Bruins have done. Obviously, the big one here comes on the subtractions category, and that is Tory Krug. Tory Krug, such a great offensive defenseman for the Bruins, huge point producer, quarterback of the power play. He's now a St. Louis Blue, and that's going to be a massive, massive loss for the Bruins. They also lost depth forward Joakim Nordstrom, and Zdeno Chara is still a huge question mark. We have no idea if he's going to be back or not. We don't know if he's even going to play this season. There's still a whole lot of options on the table there with Chara. He could retire. He could play for a different team. He could come back to Boston. We just don't know what's going to happen. But there's a chance that they lose him as well. On the addition side of things, there really hasn't been a whole lot. Craig Smith is certainly the only real big notable addition. Really solid middle six winger, 20 goal scorer pretty much year in and year out. Very solid player. And really going to help the secondary scoring issue that the Bruins have had over the past couple of seasons. They also added depth forward Greg Mckeg. Not 100% sure what his role in the lineup is going to be, whether he gets a regular shift on the fourth line or whether he's more of just an organizational depth guy. That remains to be seen, but Mckeg is now a Bruin as well. So, as you can see, not a whole lot of changes, guys coming in and out. Krug obviously is the big one with Boston, but the thing with the Bruins is the re-signings. They've re-signed Jake DeBrusk. They've re-signed Matt Grzelcyk. They re-signed Jakub Zaboral. They re-signed Zach Senyshyn, Carson Kuhlman as well. So Boston put a lot of their focus on re-signing guys that they needed to re-sign, and then going out and kind of making a slight adjustment here or there, but not a lot of wholesale changes to the lineup for the Bruins. So brought on a guest for this one. My friend Bobby from Butchers Block and Patriots Talk. He is a huge Boston sports fan, covers the all four major sports in Boston and New England on his channel. So I brought him in to kind of give his opinion on the Bruins moves, and we'll hand things over to Bobby now.
What's going on, Bruins Nation? What's up, guys? So with hockey right around the corner, I figured we should dive into this and take a look at the Bruins free agency before we get started with the season. And they were busy. They were busy this off season, but a lot of it was surprisingly in house. They re-signed a lot of that young core that I think they really do like a lot. I believe that upper management for the Bruins thinks very highly of some of these kids, the young talent on the team. But the Bruins were busy this offseason. First of all, I'd like to give a shout out to Off the Wall Hockey. So what's up over there, John? How you doing, brother? And everybody on all the fans of his channel, what's up, guys? How is everybody doing? But let's dive right into this. So here we go. My thoughts on the offseason, they first and foremost, they definitely had a focus on keeping the young talent that they thought highly of here. They didn't want them going anywhere. They re-signed a lot of young kids. Senyshyn re-signed, Kuhlman re-signed. They also sent some of the younger talent over to Europe to play. to keep them busy as well. So I do think the Bruins organization has, at least for now, they have confidence in the young core that they have. They re-signed Grzelcyk and DeBrusk as well. Were probably the two contracts that kind of surprised me, but I'm surprised DeBrusk's wasn't longer. It's only a two-year contract, but Jake DeBrusk re-signed along with Grzelcyk as well. Grzelcyk's was a 4. I was fully expecting DeBrusk to get that 4-year contract, but at least he's still here, so that's a plus. I like DeBrusk a lot. The big moves this offseason had to do with two of our veterans though, Tory Krug and Zdeno Chara. Let's talk about kind of the elephant in the room with a lot of Bruins fans, and that is the Zdeno Chara issue. This guy has been a warrior for this organization for a long time. He is a leader on and off the ice, and it's an interesting situation they're in with him. So far, what we know is that Chara still wants to play. He still wants to play in 2021, and I don't think the upper management of the Bruins, I don't think they want him to play. I mean, I would think maybe in a coaching aspect, but that speed of his is definitely an Achilles heel out there. The league has just gotten so fast over the last 5 years that he's a lot of times he's been caught out of position and just been spun around a lot, whether it's a winger or whether it's another defenseman on the ice. He's just been spun around a lot, and has kind of put him in predicaments where he hurts the team a lot. So that's an interesting scenario that we're in with him, seeing how much he means to this organization. I personally do not expect him to play in the 2021 season. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Bruins are going to embrace the youth movement and go with the young kids. So I don't think he'll be back, and that's going to be a major blow. A leader like him in the locker room, on and off the ice, is going to be tough to replace. The other kind of big loss for us was Tory Krug. And I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about Krug, but he was their best option to kind of set the offense up. And a lot of the times the Bruins have been caught with bad passes through the neutral zone and been put on odd man rushes going the other direction. It was definitely not a strong point. And as much as they struggled, I do think that Krug was the best at that, getting the puck through the neutral zone and kind of the offense running through him and him setting it up. So that's definitely going to be a big loss there. That is going to be an interesting scenario to see how they do. He was kind of if you want to put it in a basketball term, he was kind of the point guard of the offense. The offense, ran through him, and it's going to be very interesting to see who they let have that spot now that Krug is gone. The next kind of big question I have with the Bruins is the scoring. We have got to score more points this year, and I do think they made an attempt at it in the offseason to put at least some scores on the ice, and hopefully that'll pay off. I do think it was a little bit of a gamble, or I should say that's yet to be seen. But hopefully the gamble that they took this year is going to pay off with the young kids and kind of putting a lot of hope on them developing. The next question for me is going to be what is Tuukka Rask's future here? I don't know how much more how much more time we have with him. I know a lot of Bruins fans are mixed emotions on him as well. I know he's a very, very good goalie during the regular season, but I don't want to say lack of production, but just the the inability to come through when you need them the most is really tough to deal with sometimes. But we're gonna be in for an interesting season this year. The shortened season, and it could work. It could work in the Bruins' favor. The shortened up season could definitely work in their favor. And as Bruins fans, we have to hope that they can that upper management and the coaches and Cassidy and everybody involved in that in the decision making on this team can get this together, because our window with the veteran core that we do have is closing, and we have got to take advantage of that while we can. I don't know how much longer Krejci, Bergeron, and Marshy are going to be playing at high levels, and we got to maximize that time frame while we can. But it's going to be an interesting year. Like I said, guys, a lot of the Bruins offseason moves were keeping it in house. They signed a lot of these young kids back to contracts, and I think that shows that they believe in the young talent they have, and they think that they can develop, and that's a good thing in a way, that they believe in they do believe in the young talent. We shall see, though. We shall see. It's Tampa Bay and a lot of these teams in the East. The Lightning are one of them. The Maple Leafs are one of them that got much better. It's going to be a very interesting season. And, of course, the Cat's going to hijack the video, as usual. But once again, though, thanks again, John. Thanks again, all of the fans over there at Off the Wall Hockey. John, I just want to say Merry Christmas to you and your family, man. I hope you guys enjoy the holiday. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from my family to yours. I hope you have a great holiday, man. Butchers Block and Patriots Talk, and I'm out, guys. Go Bruins!
I want to give a huge thank you to Butchers Block and Patriots Talk for coming on to do this video. His link to his channel will be down in the description. As always, guys, he covers all four of the big Boston sports: Red Sox, Patriots, Celtics, and Bruins. And really cool Boston channel to check out if you're interested in that. Yeah, it's been an interesting offseason for the Bruins. Obviously, like Bobby said, they've put a lot of focus on the re-signings and making sure they didn't lose DeBrusk, making sure that Grzelcyk didn't go anywhere, making sure that, you know, these young guys stay around. Obviously, the loss of Tory Krug is going to hurt. That is something I was, you know, it really sucks to see him go, because he was Boston's best offensive defenseman by a million. It wasn't even close. He was just so much better offensively than any other defenseman on that Bruins roster. And they haven't really brought anyone in to replace him either, which means they're going to be heavily relying on a guy like Matt Grzelcyk and guys like Brandon Carlo and Charlie McAvoy to really step up and take that next step in their careers and play a much bigger role in the lineup, particularly Matt Grzelcyk, who is going to go from kind of a number 5 defenseman up to probably a number 2 at this point. He's probably going to play on the top pair with Charlie McAvoy on the left side. So that's going to be a big jump for Grzelcyk to try and make, but if he can do it, then that's really going to help the Bruins out a lot. And if not, they could be in some trouble there on the defensive side of things. But we're going to have to wait and see how that happens. The other thing, obviously, the Zdeno Chara question. Captain of the team, absolute Bruins legend, Stanley Cup champion. We just don't know if he's going to be back or not. He's in his 40s now. His play has significantly declined to the point where I think during the playoffs last year, he was doing more harm than good in the Bruins lineup during the playoffs last season. So, you know, we don't know if he's going to come back as kind of a number 6, number 7 type defenseman, or if he just doesn't come back at all and plays somewhere else, or if he retires. That's still a question that needs to be answered before the season starts. And a big thing that Bobby mentioned that I want to touch on is the time is running out. Time is ticking with this core. If Boston's going to win another Stanley Cup with this core group intact, they're going to have to do it within the next year or two. You know, we've already seen Chara get to a point where he's on his way out. Patrice Bergeron is not far behind him. David Krejci is not far behind him. Brad Marchand's in his 30s now. Tuukka Rask is in his mid-30s now. This could be Rask's last season as a Bruin. We don't know what he's going to do. And his contract's up at the end of this year. So Boston's kind of running their window with this group is closing. Obviously, they have a good core group of young guys with like McAvoy, Carlo, DeBrusk, Pastrnak. Obviously, like there's a good core setting in place there of younger players, but not a cup level core, not yet. If they're gonna win a cup with the Bergeron group and the Krejci group still left, they're going to have to do it very, very soon because their window is quickly closing. So there's got to be a sense of urgency with the Boston Bruins. I think 2019 was their chance, and they ended up falling just a little short. I don't think it's likely that this group wins a cup again. I think they should be a playoff team this year. I don't have them being, as good as they were last year. Krug's loss is really going to hurt. And another thing to talk about is that Marchand and Pastrnak are both injured and going to be out of the lineup to start the season. So they certainly should be back, hopefully fairly soon into the start of the new season. But, they're going to be missing at least a little bit of time this year to start the year. So that's going to hurt Boston as well. So, I don't see them as a President's Trophy winning team like they were last season. I think they're probably a third or fourth place team with this new divisional alignment. I do see them making the playoffs, but I don't see them being as good as they were last year. And I feel like the window is kind of closed on this team. I still think they'll be competitive. They'll still be a good team, and that maybe they get hot and go on a run in the playoffs, but I feel like the window is closing very, very quickly with this team. So we'll see what happens with the Bruins. Again, I want to thank Butchers Block and Patriots Talk for coming on and doing this video with me. I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you out there. Thank you guys so much for watching. No video tomorrow. Tomorrow is Christmas. I'm not going to be doing anything tomorrow, but we'll be back at it again this weekend. So thank you guys so much. This finishes up off-season recaps. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon, merchandise store, and donation link are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.